What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Josh here with Super Sport Enthusiast. And what I want to talk to you guys today is about Porsche. We know the Porsche Taycan has been out for a while now. We've seen it on YouTube. We've seen it circulating. But Porsche has voluntarily decided to lower the Taycan's EPA range. Yes, that is right. Alright, the sedan earns a better range numbers than it is displaying. So here goes the backstory behind it. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get into this. What is going on? There's EPA documents that show Porsche has voluntarily reduced the range of both the Taycan Turbo and the Turbo S, alright? Automakers are free to change their fuel range, and of course it figures on the car. So there's different reasons why. For this reason specifically, the contribution to this is a smaller battery, a battery with less range, the battery pack that holds less usage of energy that was initially reported. Therefore, they had to lower their EPA range because this battery holds less, I guess, energy, if you want to say that. So lower range. Porsche can't really come out and say, hey, we can do these numbers. These are the actual numbers we do, and that's why we are here talking about what we're talking about. This information was posted by Cars and Drivers. They posted that Porsche had to change the range, so I decided to bring you guys information. What better way to get past this fun Hawaii day being locked in a hotel? Alright guys, so what's so bad about this? The internet has been going crazy, the Porsche fans and everything. Porsche now lowering the EPA range of the Taycan, the Turbo and the Turbo S. Yes, that sucks, right? Because now all the comps and the bragging that were going on about these cars, it's not the same. It's going from, oh, I benched 300 pounds to now in person when the official numbers come out, oh, I only benched 250. Alright, it's still a beautiful car. The performances have been there if you guys have seen some of the videos on YouTube. But the factor is, instead of numbers changing and going up, which would be a positive, they actually went down. Okay, so we know the Taycan, I believe, let me get it right here, 201 miles range for the Turbo, and we have 197 for the Turbo S. So yes, 201 and 197. That's not really good here, okay? We know that the electric sedan, when it comes to Tesla, gets 100 miles more at least when it comes to the Model S. Tesla is the biggest competitor when it comes to electric cars, guys. Whether that, again, I said that be Ford, whether that be Chevy, any other electric or any other automotive industry out there that's trying to be competitive with electric EV vehicles. We know EV vehicles are the future, point blank, period. Everyone is developing something. I mean, we even have an electric Hummer coming, electric trucks, electric vans, electric everything. Tesla Model S, or Tesla itself, Elon Musk, is ahead of the game. So when you want to come into a field that's already being overtaken by, we know, Elon Musk and Tesla, you want to be competitive. We know that the Turbo S and the Turbo are very nice. The Taycan, or Taycan, whatever you want to pronounce it, is a great car. We've seen it on YouTube. I've seen it on Vehicle Virgins and different sites. The car performed well. But the most important part is electric vehicles take over for gas. We know that they're going to be replacing combustion engines. So when you think about electric, you think about safer world, safer this, safer that, less on emissions. But we want our range still there. My ZL1, for instance, on a full tank gets like 200, 250 miles fully, especially with the mods or baby mods that I have so far. So when it comes to electric vehicles, I want 400 or 500 if I'm going to go for this. Alright, now that Porsche has dropped their numbers, and that's going to be specifically about 100 below compared to a Tesla, I don't think it's going to go so well. I know there's a lot of people upset, and that's just something we have to deal with. Alright, so a lot of people are saying, hey, that's not bad. The miles only dropped 8%, or it only went down 8 miles. That's not too bad, but okay, let's talk about that. 8 miles is a 4% decrease from what the Taycan and Porsche was producing, or at least talking about for this car. So does that sound bad? Oh, it only dropped 8 miles. Oh, hey, it dropped 4%. You know, those are the things that are different. So now we went from saying, hey, how much does the Taycan make miles per, can't really say miles per gallon on this one, huh? Range, right? Miles per battery. How do you even say that? I'm not an EV kind of guy. But dropped 4%, which equates to 8 miles total of range, and it went under the 200 mark. So now you can't say, oh, 200 miles, 200 and something miles. You're at 197. Oh, it only gets 100 and change. You know, us young guys like to say stuff like that, right? Hey, now this vehicle only gets 100 and change when it comes to range, and that's not something that I can say that a lot of people seems to be really proud of. Alright, so even though it's 8 under, let's say the figures are at 192, why not use the 200 mile figure, right? Why not? So Porsche spokesman Calvin Kim, alright, says that the 192 miles for the Porsche achieved in the lab, alright? So they did that in the lab. So it decided to go with the rate rather than the 200 that the EPA achieved in its confirmatory testing. They have some that tested 200, but in a lab it tested 192, so that's what they're going to go with. They don't want to say a higher number and don't achieve it. You always go with the lower standard, which I respect and I understand, right? So you don't want to say, okay, well, in this situation it did 200. In the wilderness and in the wild during testing it did 200, but right now in the lab we're getting 192. So if you're testing in your facility at 192, let's just go smarter and do that. I guess it's a good thing. I think personally it's a good thing because you want to give lower numbers before someone actually buy that car, not purchase the car, and then it actually shows lower numbers in different situations, and then you're ass out. I've seen that with Chevy and Ford and different manufacturers that say, hey, this car is going to have 500 horsepower. People purchase the car. We know that it's going to lose about 15-20% through drivetrain, and it actually produces maybe, looks like by numbers only lost like 10% drivetrain. So they're like, wait, it makes more power. But you want to give lower numbers. You want to lowball. That way you're not going to excite the masses too much, and then it's going to bite you in the long run. So let's talk about significant contributors to what we're dealing with right now. We know the Taycan range figured the energy capacity of its battery packs, right? Although Porsche taught the 93.4 kilowatt battery, I believe they said they had 2 of those. Porsche told cars and drivers that usually the figure is actually 83.7 kilowatts battery, right? That means that the Model S packs 17% more energy on board, rather than the 5% initially indicated, which explains part of the large gap between the two. Between voluntarily lowering their numbers and energy discrepancies, the Taycan'S range would increase technically by 42 miles or more than 20%. Alright, so let's also recall the difference between the EPA range, alright, or fuel economy if you want to say that. It can be very different between the reality of both, depending on the conditions, right? So let's say the range tests at 75 miles per hour between a Taycan'S and a Tesla Model S. Performance. It shows nearly parity between two, a near parity between two, right? Which means just 13 miles difference in range versus 135 miles difference in EPA. The numbers of the EV vehicles also had their range voluntarily reduced. We know the Kona EV couldn't top the Chevy Bolt EV range, but the Hyundai opted to lower it. I think Hyundai opted to lower it from 263 miles to 258 miles. So again, guys, when it comes to different manufacturers, they're gonna have tests that's shown different numbers, but before it comes out, this is what it's about. It's about testing. The Taycan, I haven't seen one on the internet for sale yet. I've been seeing a lot of manufacturers when they have new cars, they want to give it out. Chevy's done it to a lot of big YouTubers, have them come out, test the vehicles, show the vehicles, and that's what they do for testing. But when it comes to numbers, you give out what the best you want. Let's think about, like I said, weights and working out. You're not going to always have the same performance every day, the same numbers. Different testings, different mile an hour, maybe different areas or whatever. A flat surface, you have a better number. Downhill, you have a greater number. If it was tested with a little uphill, you're going to have worse numbers. So it depends on where they want to go. Unfortunately, they had to change the numbers, and that's what looks bad. I wouldn't have given a perfect number, or if it was tested in the lab at 192 and then they decided to say 200, I would have just stuck with whatever we had in the lab. That way we can say this is what we tested it at. All drivability changes. And remember, it's electric vehicles just like gas. The harder you press the pedal, the more energy consumption you're going to use. Alright guys, well that's it. We just wanted to talk about the Porsche Taycan, the Turbo and the Turbo S. We talked about the main hit points on this was that it lowered it from 200s to 192, which is going to make a lot of people upset. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm just bringing you again this information because it's something to do, something to talk about. Hopefully we can get back to the fun once I get my vehicle back. Guys, please don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel. Let's grow the family. I appreciate all your love, all your thanks, everything I do, man. I'm very humble and grateful for it. We are growing yet again. So that is great. This information was brought to you by me from Cars and Drivers. All right, I'm going to make sure the first link in the description is going to be the link to the site if you guys want to verify the information or read it yourself, because some people just don't speak my Ebonics, and I apologize for that. I am who I am. But until next time, don't forget, it's your boy Josh here with Super Sport Enthusiasts. I love you guys. I respect you guys, and I damn sure salute you. Peace.
Your reflection in my wine glass. That's when I look away. Can't stand and think about losing your fine ass. How the fuck I let you slip away? Life for the party, but I'm dead inside. Kill my vibes, it was genocide. Hard to act like